Well, Jackson, welcome home, I guess. How is it being in camp, and what are the preparations like so far?
Yeah, nice to be back, obviously. Pleased coming in off the back of a good result at Clubland on the weekend, and yeah, straight out and got in probably 24 hours earlier than I normally would for a camp. So feeling good to see everyone again, obviously after a couple of months away, and yeah, I'm ready to go for Thursday.
Is it different or good having a buddy to travel with now with Conley?
Yeah, I'm sure he won't say the same, but it is nice having someone to do the journey with over the last kind of couple of years now since he's been involved. It's been it certainly makes it a little bit easier.
When did you get in, Jackson?
7 a.m. yesterday, so yeah, 7 a.m. Monday.
Does it get any easier, that sort of flying across the world and coming to camp for an intense 3-day preparation?
To a degree, I think when you get in that extra day earlier, probably it does give you that little bit more of a bit of time, but you do get used to it eventually. I was just saying now, like you find the way to get that rhythm with your sleep, and obviously we've got great medical and conditioning staff here that do everything they can to get us ready. So yeah, no excuses.
Tell me about obviously you're in a really great position now. You win these 2 games, you qualify for the 3rd round. But does it get any harder or easier to get yourself up to the level required to perform on the international stage?
I think these games just continually get harder as I think the competition in Asia gets more difficult. I think the standard is getting higher across the confederation all the way through. We've seen it. We've been tested more and more in these games as time's gone on, and I think we'll be expecting another really big test on Thursday and Tuesday night. So for us, obviously, we focus on ourselves and physical and tactical preparation, getting as much in a short space of time. But yeah, it's you've got to be aware that these all these teams have got big things to fight for as well in terms of their own qualification too. So yeah, expecting a tough match.
Just the fact that you've got 1 hour together as a team in your final sort of training to get ready for a first match. Like, what can you achieve in that time, and what are you trying to achieve in that time?
Yeah, it's a bit of everything. Obviously, detail is important, and we'll try and get as much of that tactical detail. Of course, we have meetings and can do a lot of things away from the pitch now as well, which is helpful. And then just chemistry and energy, and getting back out there together as quick as possible. Just even for a short time goes a long way in terms of getting you ready for a match.
I think you've been the captain for a couple of seasons at St. Pally, right? And how do you feel that has changed you, or do you enjoy these leadership roles that you're taking on?
Yeah, like it's obviously being club captain over the last couple of years is a different kind of responsibility. I've been fortunate to be involved in kind of the leadership squads at most of the clubs I've played for, and been lucky to be involved with working with Maddie and over the last couple of years here as well. And of course, it's part of my game, which is I like to think of myself as a player that can try and help get the best out of my teammates. That's one of my qualities I think that coaches have obviously identified in me, and I'm always trying to find those things that I can add, not just for myself but for the team and for my teammates. So I definitely think being captain at my club has changed, in the sense it's probably made me a better leader and a more experienced player, which obviously helps in this environment as well.
Yeah, are you one of the voices out on the pitch? Like, do your teammates repping the yellow right?
Yeah, I think they would say that I'm probably one of the more vocal ones out there, and of course, with Maddie being our captain, and sometimes obviously when it comes to being on the pitch in different phases of the game, you need voices in different areas, and that's something that I can try and add.
And just with your club, like, you're on top of your league, right, or very close to it, if not top at the moment. But are you ready to mix it with the bigger boys in the Bundesliga?
That's obviously where we want to be. That's been the target since the beginning of the season. We've put ourselves in a great position with 8 games to go, but we're a very measured group, and the club itself it's got a really great mindset of process-based mindset of focusing on the next game and improving week by week. But of course, you've got one eye on the big picture, and that's the dream. That's where we want to be. So as I said, with 8 games to go, we've given ourselves every chance.
And how have you seen your Quano come along? Because it was kind of a free Socceroo not long ago, but now it seems to be getting more and more minutes.
Yeah, he's a totally different player to the one that arrived in St. Pauli, a year and a half ago. physically, mentally, tactically, everything. He's grown so much, and over the last kind of 5 games for us in Germany, he's been a huge part of, and all season long he's been a huge part of the success that we've had. And obviously we saw at the Asian Cup what a big part of this group he's become, and how versatile he can be, and the way he just approaches football is such a breath of fresh air. He just he's the kind of player as a captain, you don't need to motivate, you don't need to, I don't need to give him anything. He has his own, he just has that fire kind of in him, and he's a joy to play with.
International football tournaments, like it either ends in heartbreak or you win it, right? But are you extra motivated given how you went out at the Asian Cup? It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, of course. It's heartbreaking's definitely the way you'd put it. But the lessons learned, and we've moved forward from that, and now we're focusing on qualifying for the next major tournament, another opportunity to go and achieve something special, and we'll look at those, take those lessons learned, and as you say, try and go on and achieve something great again.
Jackson, you talked about leadership before, and I realise this is slightly off the list, but I want to ask you a question anyway. I wonder how you reflected on what's happening around Sam Kerr, the fact that she is the national captain of the Socceroos, and it seems that she didn't inform Football Australia that she spent some time in custody last year or so. Did you have any reflections on that at all?
Not really, to be honest. It's not really that's not really anything to do with kind of this group or me personally, kind of thing. I'm sure that's something that will be handled well internally. Sam's a great leader and fantastic person, and I'm sure whatever the situation, however it unfolds, it will be handled with the integrity and the way it should be, and properly. So it's not really for me to comment on.
I'll bring you back to this camp. Josh Nisbet was standing right there yesterday, and obviously super excited to be in the Socceroos. You've obviously met him. What did you talk about, and how do you welcome somebody like that into this culture?
Yeah, he doesn't need much, welcoming. He's a breath of fresh air. He's, as you say, you can tell. It's great to see, young players who are obviously so grateful to have this opportunity and be a part of it. And he's brought already, just in the first kind of couple of days, a bit of energy and a boost to the group. And he's deserving of his place here. He's having a fantastic season and has done over the last couple of years, and I'm excited to do a bit more work with him on the pitch and get him more involved with the group.
The other day, Graham said that he had about 100 names in his head when he started this process to qualify for the World Cup. He thinks he's whittled that down to about 50. Mm-hmm. Is it harder to sort of keep that Socceroos culture that we saw at the World Cup and the Asian Cup, given that there is just so much ebb and flow in the team with people coming in and out all the time?
Not really, no. I think during the last qualification campaign for Qatar, I think we used about over 50 players over those kind of 4-year cycle as well. It's to be expected, and of course you're going to have a core of 15, 20 players that you'll see probably in most camps, but of course there's going to be guys that, based on form or whatever, are involved throughout the process, and everyone, you're only here on merit, and every player that comes in wants to add something, whether it's for one game or for 20 games, and we're all part of the same journey and process to get to the next World Cup. And that's such a great thing about this team, is that those changes never affect the culture around the group. It's, if anything, I think it makes us stronger having a bigger group.
Does it ever give you any food for thought personally? Because I presume you're just the first name or one of the first names on the team sheet every time, but there is such a turnover. Do you ever take it for granted, or are you constantly looking over your shoulder?
Oh, definitely. Of course, there's a certain time in your career when you can take a little bit more of a deep breath when a squad's coming out, but of course you're always aware of you never can take it for granted. You can only ever see that the positions are getting stronger and stronger, especially in midfield, which has been a traditionally strong area for this team. And there's guys that are not here and involved in this camp that are doing Callum Neuenhoff at Hearts doing great things. There's other boys that are playing in midfield doing playing really well. So something you can never take for granted. You've got to be on top form at your club, and when you come in here, you have to perform. It's simple as that, and that's the only way you can maintain longevity in this group.
Vince, you were saying there were 9 strikers in the squad or something like that. Something like that.
7.
So it's not an area that Australia's been traditionally strong in. But do you see that that is an area where the Socceroos are improving, that there are more options?
Well, you can certainly say that all the strikers that are here are in great form, and it's, as we said, players that are in this squad it's picked on form and merit, and You know, obviously you look at Tags and Bruno scoring goals in the A-League. Cassini's having a fantastic season at Portsmouth, and obviously Juki's playing in J1 now. I think they're top of the league as well, and you know, it's everyone's in great form, and as you say, it's six centre forwards in the squad is an exciting prospect for us, and interesting to see how that unfolds over the next couple of games.